Yeah. Hey, just make sure you finish that steak before I start doing the filming. Okay. Harold, come on, man. You gotta tell me when that joint is on, man. Hey, what's going on, world? It's your boy AD coming to you live and direct. You know, I've got a few things I want to discuss. The first thing I want to talk about is the draft picks that we acquired. I'm sorry it's been like a couple weeks, so I'm a little late on that, but I'm gonna catch up with it. And also I'm gonna talk about the unrestricted free agents that we picked up after the draft as well, because there's a couple guys that I really have my eye on. But first and foremost, I want to let you guys know I have a little bit of a surprise for you guys. Got the Jordan 4s right here, baby. They call them breads. I call them pure butter because they on a roll, baby. Woo! Wait. Anyway, I got another surprise for you guys too. I know you're not gonna be ready for this one. Yes, you're reading that correctly, baby. Number 7 in all black. Had to get it when I saw it. Anyway, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's get down to the meat and potatoes, and let's talk about these draft picks. The second round draft pick, actually, matter of fact, let me start before I go any further. All our draft picks have been signed except for one, which is Eric Armstead, and I'm pretty sure he's trying to wait to see what everybody else is going to be signed to in order for before he signs a contract. Some had draft picks that have already signed that were in the first round, but I think he's waiting on around his pick, so that would be like the 15th, 16th, and then he's the 17th. So he's gonna wait for those draft picks to be signed first, probably before he decides to sign. But anyway, we're gonna move forward from there. The first guy I'm going to talk about is Jakowski Tart. He's 6'1". He's 221 pounds. He's from Sanford, and I watched a lot of highlight tapes from him, and he seems to make a lot of plays on the ball, whether it's physical or whether it's through he using his hands, where he's able to pick off a lot of passes. I think he's going to have a good season. The only problem I foresee is that it's just him getting adjusted to the NFL, and in addition, he's going to have to play behind Eric Reed and Antoine Bethea, whatever position they decide to put him in. But I really like his motor. I really like the things that he's capable of doing when he's out there on the field. He seems to make a lot of plays when I was watching the highlight tapes at Sanford. He seems to be in the right places at the right time. And that's something that we really could use in the secondary, because we're extremely young in the corner situation. The biggest vet that we have is Antoine Bethea, who's going to be superb again this year as he was last year. So I think that's going to be a great thing to add him to that secondary and then to that those safety positions. I think it's going to be a great thing. And then the next person that we have is a guy that everybody's really high on that we picked up in the third round, which is Eli Harold. He's playing outside linebacker / defensive end, but I think it's probably going to be more so of an outside linebacker than anything else. He's 6'3", 247 pounds. He's out of Virginia, and I think what they're going to do with him is just turn him into a speed rusher from the beginning. They're just going to have him rush like they did with Alden Smith a couple years ago when he was almost able to set the sack record, and Alden was pretty dominant in that position. In addition, you're going to have 3 guys, or actually 4 guys, rotating into those outside linebacker positions. You have Alden Smith, we have Ahmad Brooks on the other side with Alden, and then you subbing in Ern Lynch and then Eli Harold. That's going to be a pretty deadly combination. There's going to be a lot of sacks going on. But the 2 that are probably the best in pass coverage will probably be Ahmad Brooks and Alden Smith, because as of right now, they're strictly just using Ern Lynch as just a guy that goes in and goes after the quarterback at all costs. And if you've seen him play last year, he's definitely getting in there to that quarterback, and he's not stopping at all. And I think that's great because we're going to need a lot of pressure, because the secondary is going to be kind of young, and they're going to make some mistakes. I forgot we still had Tremaine Brock back there, but they're going to make some mistakes. But at least the safeties in the D-line and the and outside linebackers can have a hand at helping them with causing some turnovers. And then another pick that we had, which was Blake Bill, who's a converted quarterback to a tight end, 6'6", 252 pounds. There's a big dude. I think he'll be a big target for Kaepernick. He's pretty good in pass blocking and then in running blocking as well. So I think he'll be threatening for a position. I'm not going to say first, because there's no way anybody can replace Vernon when healthy. He's one of the, if not the best tight ends in the game right now. So I don't foresee that even happening at all. But I think that given some time and effort, I think that Bell will be he'll probably be between second and third string. Depends on what Vance McDonald does this year. He didn't have a solid year last year, so it all depends on what he does. The next pick that we had which was Mike Bell, who's from South Carolina, a running back, 5'9", 217. He's going to be another bruising back that we're going to have. But the thing with Bell is that he's got three people ahead of him, which is Carlos Hyde, which is probably going to be number one. Then you got Reggie Brooks, which is going to be number two, or Kendall Hunter, which will be number two. So you can flip-flop those two. But I think the primary running back is going to probably be Carlos Hyde. But unless one of those three get hurt, Davis is going to have a tough time trying to crack into that running back core, because those are three solid running backs. And you saw what Carlos Hyde did last year behind Frank Gore. Just think about it. This year, he's going to have all the reps. He's getting the ball all the time now. He's going to have to split between Kendall Hunter and Reggie Bush, but Reggie Bush, I think, is going to be more of a target back out of the backfield. He's going to catch a lot of passes out of the backfield as opposed to running the ball up the field. They're going to use Hyde as that bruising back. The next pick that we had, which is DeAndre Smelter, 6'2", from Georgia Tech. He's coming off a torn ACL injury, and I think what will wind up happening with him, they'll probably, depending on how everything is working out, they'll probably wind up sitting him out this season and have him coming back next year. So that's going to be one of the interesting picks. They say he has some of the biggest hands that they've ever seen, so that's a bonus as well. So that means he should catch a lot of passes. Also, too, we grabbed the punter from Clemson, 6'5", I think it's like 215, 220, something in that range. He's one of the best punters of the year last year in college football, so I think he'll be outstanding. Mind you, Andy Lee is not going anywhere anytime soon, so rest assured, guys, don't worry about it. Andy Lee will still be there. Then we also have a couple of offensive linemen. I don't know too much about those guys, but I think that those will be pretty much like redshirted players. They're going to sit them out like they did last year with, I can't think of his name. It slips my mind, but the linebacker that we had last year, where he sat out pretty much the whole year. Oh, I'm sorry, 2 years ago, and he played something last year. He tore his ACL, so I think he'll be back this year. And then now we're going to get into what I believe is going to be one of the positions that is going to change our offense for this next year coming. We have the guy I'm personally falling in love with is the wide receiver. Well, these are all undrafted free agents. Is the wide receiver from Utah. His name is Dres Anderson. He's 6'2", 190, and he can flat out get it done. I've been watching a whole lot of his highlight tapes, and he has been explosive all over the place. And I'm excited to have him back there. I think that he's going to be one of those guys that's going to help ignite this offense whenever they're sputtering. Hopefully he can make the team. So if he makes the team, he's going to be one of the players to watch out for. He had a great season last year in college, if I'm not mistaken. He played pretty well. And then we also have another receiver that I'm looking out for, which was DeAndre White from Alabama. He's 6', 192. He played opposite of Amari Cooper. He didn't get a lot of pub last year because Amari Cooper says it all. But this year he should be in good hands. I think he'll do a good job this year. We also picked up the quarterback from South Carolina. I guess the 49ers have a South Carolina pipeline for some reason because they keep drafting all these people from South Carolina. But Dylan Thompson, 6'3", 218. He had a solid year. Last year he threw for over 1,300 yards, and he also rushed for 500 yards. So I guess you can say he's a mobile quarterback because that's a lot of yards to be rushing for. Sorry if it seems like I'm rushing. I'm just trying to get through this because this is the first video I posted, and I was supposed to keep you guys updated every week, and I didn't do that. So this is your boy AD signing off. Shouts out to my camera crew. They gotta keep it all the way G. Also my man B Samp. Keep looking out for that Niners information. I'm going to shout you out every time we do this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy AD signing off. Y'all have a good night.